So, I was catching up on some tech leaks earlier, and I came across a report about the upcoming Apple Watch Ultra 4 that completely blew my mind. According to several fresh supply chain sources, Apple isn't just giving us a tiny incremental spec bump this year, they are literally redesigning this device from the ground up. And if these reports are accurate, one specific direction they are taking could completely transform the Ultra line. It could shift from being a luxury flex for outdoor athletes into something regular, everyday people buy, specifically to save their lives. Now, the very first thing you will notice the moment you see this watch is the physical design. Leaks suggest that Apple is finally trimming down the overall thickness while still keeping that ultra-rugged titanium frame we are used to. Let us be totally honest for a second. As amazing as the current Ultra models are, they basically look and feel like a small house brick strapped to your wrist. So, making the case noticeably slimmer without compromising on durability is going to be a huge relief, especially for anyone who actually wants to track their sleep without feeling like they are wearing gym weights to bed. But here's where the story gets really interesting, because Apple isn't just making the watch thinner so it looks nice in photos. There is a very specific engineering reason why the whole internal layout is getting flipped upside down. Apple is completely rebuilding the rear sensor array on the back of the case, all to clear out space for a new generation of health monitoring tech. And the first major feature they are packing into that space targets a medical issue that affects well over 1 billion people across the globe. We are talking about high blood pressure. Now, instead of trying to stuff a miniature inflatable arm cuff inside a wristwatch, Apple's approach uses advanced software to analyze how your cardiovascular system behaves over long stretches of time. So, if your body starts showing subtle patterns connected to hypertension, the watch catches those early warning signs and quietly nudges you to see a doctor. That single addition alone turns this watch from a standard fitness tracker into an early warning system on your wrist. Now, if you thought blood pressure warnings were big, wait until you hear about the second sensor system Apple has been quietly working on in the background. They are trying to solve what everyone in the tech world calls the holy grail of health tracking: non-invasive blood glucose monitoring. Nobody likes pricking their finger multiple times every single day just to check their blood sugar levels. So being able to measure glucose through the skin using advanced optical sensors would be a total lifesaver for millions of diabetics. Now, let us keep our expectations realistic for a moment. Building optical glucose technology is insanely difficult, and there is still no absolute guarantee that it will be 100% ready in time for the Ultra 4 release. But the fact that Apple is actively restructuring the internal hardware layout to support it shows us exactly where they are taking this product line. Of course, running all these complex health scans in the background every few minutes requires a ton of computational power, which brings us to the underlying hardware upgrades. The Ultra 4 is slated to come with a next-generation S12 chip. And the big story here isn't just speed, it is raw efficiency. That extra efficiency allows the watch to handle heavy background processing continuously, while still extending total battery life without forcing Apple to make the battery pack any thicker. At this point, you might be asking yourself if all of this is just wishful internet rumor, but there is another massive piece of evidence coming straight out of Apple's manufacturing partners. Recent factory reports indicate that Apple is ramping up production estimates for their next wearable generation significantly higher than previous years. In plain English, Apple's own business forecasters expect this model to sell in record numbers, which tells us they know they have something huge on their hands. When you step back and look at the whole picture, it is easy to see why expectations are so high. Combining a much slimmer and comfortable titanium case with better battery life, faster performance, and life-saving health sensors moves the Apple Watch Ultra from a nice-to-have gadget into an essential daily health companion. We should see the official announcement around September during Apple's fall hardware event, where it will likely debut alongside the iPhone 18 Pro series, and maybe even that long-rumored foldable iPhone we have all been waiting for. If even half of these leaks turn out to be true, the Ultra 4 is going to be one of the biggest wearable updates we have seen in a very long time. So, out of all these rumors, which feature would make you actually buy one? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.